full 8 hours.
We do the classic fun.
All right.
Just leave it running.
Just leave it running the whole
Done.
time. Just let everyone watch the casting couch for a while.
Yeah, no, I mean,
For,
most of the things are going after dark here.
they might be lucky this might turn into a real casting couch.
Lucky. That's probably not the words that would use.
Probably not streaming to YouTube.
I'm going to tell you we're live. I don't know if you.
Oh, we're live?
Hello.
Well, whether there's anyone watching or not, welcome to this episode of the Casual Cast. We're live on the Casual Casting Couch. My name's Sam with Ben from Banter Lab, and we're also here with good old Dylan Swain from Dylan Swain.
Swain lad. I'm trying to work out the chat so we can reply to some comments.
We've, yeah.
There we go. There's a chat. There's no way we're going to be able to read that font from here.
It's fine.
It's up to you. The chairs with the camera or with the mic is in the way for me, so it's all down to you to read the comments.
I'll be the chat guy.
You're the chat guy.
I could break the reading glasses because that is far away.
Yeah.
So whether you know Dylan or not, you guys can have a chat to him. Actually, maybe if you can get it up on your phone and mute your phone, the chat should be there too.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
I'll be able to see the comments here.
Oh,
So what are we talking about today?
Funny.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today? Well, it's going to be the same format as our regular ones with chat interaction as well, if anyone actually jumps in the chat, of course.
Yeah.
But how we usually kick this whole thing off is just saying what we've been up to and whatnot. So, Ben, what have you been up to?
Me, myself, I think you know the answer. Nothing constructive at least. So, as usual, we're going through Overwatch, and I'm not going to go into it because I think it's worse than it's ever been. The response is worse it's ever been. We're deteriorating at a rapid speed, and I don't think I can hold on.
I think we need to make a rule where we don't talk about Overwatch on
Yeah,
the podcast
okay.
every
From
week
now on, it's
anymore.
Anyway,
that was my topic.
Taking Overwatch.
I've never played Overwatch.
The Overwatch Pro here, Seagull. No, otherwise, I've got into actually the British Office, which I've actually thoroughly
great
enjoyed.
series.
Yeah,
Should have been longer.
Yeah, I really like Grievous, is it? Can't remember his name. Anyway, main guy from the British Office. I really liked him as the boss man, but I've watched a little bit of the American one as well. But I think the English one
Only a
better,
little bit.
personally. Yeah.
I like them both.
But I do love some Steve Carell, so it's all uphill from there.
They're both very different. You can tell the difference between the British and American humour.
But,
I wish the UK one went as long as the American one, personally.
Yeah, well, other than that, I've not really been doing much. Been doing a little bit of editing and had a couple of mates that are finishing around, so just hanging out.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. What about you, Sam?
Not much. Trying to catch up on Persona because I'm well behind on it. I need to finish that and Horizon for Game of the Year reasons. Editing podcasts that haven't worked out, so we recorded one this week. We are trying to be weekly, and that just did not work. So there's that too, and also editing reviews and stuff because my Justice League review is up, and I'm going to try and turn that into a probably weekly thing, reviewing just different movies. They're not all going to be current because I'm not going to the movies every week. But yeah, so there's been that as well. And apart from that, had a job interview today as well for something. I'll talk about that later. That's going to be my topic for the podcast today. And then Dylan.
That's a good topic because I've got a job interview on Monday.
Oh, nice.
I finished my full-time job Wednesday. What's today? Friday, 2 days ago. So I've had 2 days off, and I've got a couple of months off till I go to uni next year. So I'm going to try and get a job down there. Going down to Sydney for an interview Monday. So maybe, I don't know what type of job interviews your topic's about, but maybe you can help me with some tips for my job interview.
Oh, I got some tips.
Oh, I've got
some tips.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Alrighty.
awesome.
I've got plenty of tips for you, mate.
Just a tip.
And apart from that, if people haven't seen your content before, you want to tell them where you're at?
Yeah, well, I change my content every single week. Last time on the podcast, what did I talk about? My podcast, a small YouTube podcast, that's actually still going. I interview small YouTube creators, and these guys are going to be on very shortly. We're interviewing them next week.
Yeah.
But I've also started doing product reviews on my YouTube channel. Don't know how long that'll last, but we'll see. I reviewed the new drone phone. Did you hear about that? It's a flying phone.
Because that's what you need.
It's what you need in your life. I never knew I needed it, but I want one. No,
my hopes and dreams for that phone is you can hang on to it and it will take off and take you with it. So it's kind of like Mary Poppins without the umbrella. Modern day Mary Poppins.
I think we've talked about on the show before, like superpowers and flying, and that. So maybe 100%. This is it becoming a reality.
Yeah, that's it.
Drone phone.
And how they came up with the idea, they were watching the Casual Cast as everyone does, and they're like, we need to figure out a way for people to fly.
Why do we not pay them?
I think we need to take royalties, to be honest.
I think so.
Oh no.
But no, Dill makes a lot of quality content over on his YouTube. It varies a lot, but it's all quality. So
it definitely varies a lot.
Hey, at least it's consistent. than us.
Hardly, but more than you.
It doesn't take much to be more consistent than us. So we set the bar for consistency at the bottom of the barrel.
Well, like our original YouTube comment thing was going to be, was we strive for mediocrity.
Yeah, we strive.
And boy, have we stuck to that.
We strive for adequacy in everything we do. Yeah, so that's our mission statement, and we stick to it.
But if I don't get the job on Monday, I've got 2 months off. So consistency, it's coming back to my channel. I'm going to be pumping out a lot of videos, podcast episodes, hoping to get the podcast back weekly. So I've got a lot planned coming up soon.
Yeah,
stay tuned.
Definitely tune into our episode. It's going to be fantastic. Don't know what we're talking about.
Once
a month. Great. Alrighty, well, we might as well delve into the first topic, which is actually your topic. I'm pretty sure it was, Ben.
Yep.
All
right, we're going to dive kind of into the underbelly of the world, and we're going to be looking at conspiracy theories. So I'm sure everyone in the world knows of a conspiracy theory, at least. From the outright outrageous to the ones that, it could happen. They could be real. So for me, I'm going to start off our conspiracies with the fact that we are being controlled by the government using chemtrails and vaccinations.
That actually perfectly leads into my topic. Not that I'm like, all right, that topic's over.
All right, to topic
Because I've got a phobia of vaccinations, which is why I'm talking about phobias later. But what's the how are they controlling us? Because this will just fuel my phobia. Maybe it's not irrational as I thought it was.
Well, with today's technology, they get the syringe right, and they grab it and they put a little microchip in it, straight India, completely unaware, oblivious to it, and you're set up to buy all the big brands and to work for the man. Then just to top it off, and if in case they didn't quite get you enough with those, they spread it through the air, the chemtrails. You know those big white lines you see in the sky?
I thought that was air cocaine.
The gods have sent us air cocaine.
Yeah, I've always wondered how to get up there.
I don't know what this air cocaine is, but I'm doing my work real quick. I'm gonna do push-ups.
It's party.
That could be a new conspiracy then. It's not chemtrails, it's air cocaine.
But with the microchips, I'm living proof. Take a look at my microchip, guys.
Whoa! You got the deluxe version.
I got the deluxe version. Oh, I don't know if you could see it was in my own.
Yeah, no, I could.
No, that's actually a blood glucose meter. Instead of pricking my fingers for my diabetes, I can pay wave my blood and just put a thing there and it tells me.
Yeah, that's what they told you it does. I'd keep an eye on it.
You're on one too? The government can tell what your blood sugar is.
You know that
one of us.
I think people, I don't know if it was fake, a rumor, or if it's actually out. Maybe it was in China or something, but people are getting like microchips willingly. The government isn't just chipping people in China. They're getting like microchips in their hand or their wrist or something that it's got their credit card and shit, so they can, tap and go pay wave stuff. They just beep at the checkout, beep, and then they paid it. So I don't know if the government's tracking people with that, but it's a scary future we're going into.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw. I saw in the paper the other day. In Australia, there was a guy. You guys know Opal cards, right? How you get around on trains in New South Wales. For those who don't know, you have a card called an Opal card. Instead of train tickets and bus tickets, you just scan the card, kind of like pay wave, tap on, tap off. And this guy got his chip inserted into his arm. So he doesn't have his card. He just puts his arm in front of stuff. And he got arrested the other day for not having an Opal card on him, which is illegal because he had the chip on him, but he didn't actually have a card because it's in his arm. And you have to have that card with you if you're on an Opal train or bus.
Strange.
So they arrested him. But
you know what happened after that? Is there a fight going on?
I have no idea.
So essentially, he got the Opal card microchipped into him.
Yeah.
And they didn't accept it. So he did that for nothing.
Yeah. I read that he had that done probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and then the arrest was in the last couple of weeks. Wow. So there was another follow-up article.
How much do you have to hate cards to get it put in your arm?
Yeah.
I don't like having many cards in my wallet, but I'm not going to, plop out all the microchips and put them up my arm. Yeah. It's like, this is my bank card, this is my Opal card.
I don't know what that is. I have my library card in there. It doesn't have a chip or anything. I just got sick of carrying it around.
Big piece of plastic.
I went to borrow a book. Like, if you got a library card, it's here, I promise.
It's in here somewhere. Just move it around.
Classic. But with the actual, let's actually talk about conspiracy.
Yeah. What was conspiracy? Come on.
No. Like we just made fun of them and actually talk about how they could be conspiracy theories. But so with chemtrails and stuff, a lot of people have theories about what that actually is, like population control. So they're like gases that'll cull population and shorten our life expectancy and stuff. Well, that's true. God knows, probably not. But Or Alex Jones. Do you guys know who Alex Jones
Don't
is?
even delve
The
into
man who heads up InfoWars, which, that's got to be the most credible publication of all time. The man thinks that the chemtrails have gases that turn frogs gay. So, yeah, there's that too.
There's some evidence towards it. Don't just completely mock it, Sam.
No, that's true. I heard a frog ribbit in a very gay tone the other day.
It was in on me, to be honest. I don't swing that way, frog.
Ribbit.
Still more. That's happening.
Ooh, ribbit.
I'm a big boy.
Oh, man.
Buy some eggs.
But, do you guys follow any conspiracy theories at all? Like ones that might have a bit of credibility behind them? Or?
I'm not going to say that I follow one,
Mhm.
but there's one that I know in my friend circle has been a bit of a joke, but there's the flat earth theorists.
Flat Earth
Those
theorists.
people that have the theory that the earth is flat and they can't believe that it's round. They see pictures from outer space, from the satellites. They don't even think satellites are what they say they are. They reckon it's just like a made up thing. They see the picture and it's like, oh, that's edited. That's all edited. It's like, why have we never seen the same picture? Why is it always different? Which is like, maybe because the earth spins. It's a circle. But no, they reckon, so for those who think it's absolutely absurd, they reckon that you've got the flat earth, right?
Mhm.
The sun is kind of a cone that moves around the big thing, you know?
Right.
Yep, so it's a big
So
cone.
once again, the Earth is the center of the universe, not the sun.
Mhm. Yeah, so the big cone goes around, right? And then we're surrounded by the Antarctic, which is it's a military zone. No one can go there. It's controlled by the government.
Of course, the government is the reason we
we're
don't
back to
know.
it.
Have you ever been there, Ben?
I can't say I have. Have you ever been there?
No.
Oh shit!
It all adds up.
I mean,
Have you ever seen Antarctica and the government in the same place?
David Attenborough's working for the government.
The penguins are the agents of doom.
Penguins control the world.
There's many reasons why I don't believe the flat Earth theory, and I would consider myself a conspiracy theorist. I do, believe a fair few. Hello to Rebecca. She's joined the chat. Hi, Rebecca. I don't know how long that message been there. I haven't been checking.
We're very good at reading comments.
Yeah, we're talking about conspiracy theories at the moment. But the reason I don't believe the flat Earth theory is because, and the reason I believe some conspiracy theories is I think of motives. And it's like, for example, the moon landing, America could have staged that, as they say, because they wanted to beat Russia and be the first people on the moon. But what does the flat Earth theory benefit? Like, who would make up that the world is round and then take all these photos and fake the photos to look round? You've got an answer.
So,
okay,
so like what I've heard from most of the videos I've watched is that they reckon it's to make us feel smaller and more insignificant.
right.
And we have like less creativity and they can control us easier because we're less motivated to do anything. We won't go out and do things because we live on such a flat earth and it's just, that's it.
So what you're saying? So they're saying, hold up.
So for the roundup, that's what they think. That's why it's like, why would they make it be so big to make us feel small and insignificant? That's why they believe the flat earth is real. Yeah. Got that mixed up.
Right.
That's my
okay.
bad. Yeah.
So they want us.
They want to make it think that if it was flat, we'd mean more because if you're bigger in proportion to your planet, you mean a bit more, right?
Yeah.
We all feel that.
So they want us to feel like we're nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
if
need
the Earth
help
was
doing
flat,
that,
my
but-
life would have so much more purpose. But no, I agree with you, Dylan, about do we have more comments? That's deep. It's very deep.
Yes, that is
Tell
deep.
Rebecca, tell us if you have any conspiracy theories that you think have some legs behind them, unlike the flat Earth theory.
Thousands of people believe. Lots of legs.
The many-legged Earth theory. So there are a few that have some credibility behind it. Like, I agree with you, Dylan. Motive is what would make me look into a conspiracy theory. Like, for example, the JFK assassination. I watched a very juicy documentary called Killing Oswald, which was it wasn't so much about the assassination as Lee Harvey Oswald, who did it himself, and whether he was working alone, and all these historians give different sources and their own opinions and stuff. And I had to do my extension history major on that in year 12. And that definitely makes things look a lot more shady than they actually were. Lee Harvey Oswald had a CIA background as well as lived in Russia, probably undercover for the KGB and stuff like that at the time.
Fill me in though. So Lee Harvey Oswald, he assassinated JFK, and they couldn't ask him because did he kill himself after, or he got shot or something?
A gangster named Jack Kirby came up as he was getting arrested and shot him.
Yeah. So that's the bit that set the conspiracy theory.
Jack Kirby also had CIA links, so that's why some
Really?
people think it's an inside job. Most people think that while he was undercover in Russia, he turned into a Russian agent. He became a sympathizer, stuff like that. But there is a lot more to that assassination than it seems. And then there's obviously other popular ones like 9/11 and stuff like that. There's a lot of shady info around there too.
Jet fuel cup melts.
Doesn't melt steel beams.
That's a fact.
But no, there is a bit more to it. I don't think it's as much of a conspiracy as people make it out to be at all. But
How awesome is Rebecca and dedicated? I love Rebecca. It's 5 a.m. there, and she's watching this live stream. Rebecca, you're awesome, but you
are
didn't get to
awesome.
bed.
Why are you awake?
No, Rebecca's cool. She watches some of my videos.
Impressive.
Yeah, she's awesome. Tuning in at 5 a.m.
That's dedication. That is dedication right there.
dedication.
So we appreciate that, Rebecca.
And we're talking about steel beams and jet fuel. And
Yeah.
shit like that.
Tell you what, if I was up at 5 a.m., the first thing I wouldn't be doing is watching the casual cast. I would be sleeping.
It doesn't make any sense. If you were up at 5 a.m., you would be sleeping.
No, I'd go back to sleep. Like if I woke, it's like, oh, it's 5 a.m. Let's see what Banter Lab's doing.
I reckon you need to put that in your like about bio description or something. Just that quote. I was up at 5 a.m. There's a bit of Larsing the casual cast.
Fantastic.
Every Sunday or something.
Full credit to Rebecca.
One of the strangest and dumbest conspiracy theories, apart from the flat Earth one that I've heard, is that we're not actually living in 2017. It's actually, I think it was 1717. There's 300 years lost there because all the Romans and the guys who created the calendar and the Greeks and stuff decided to take 300 years off and then make 300 years of false history. And that didn't happen. But yeah, there are people who say there's a lot of evidence for that, and there's like little trickles, but there's so much more evidence to counteract it than anything.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So is the theory that they just got the dates wrong? Because I guess days and time is a human construct, so it's possible that it's not actually 2017 right now.
No, the theory is that they created 300 years of false history because most people weren't literate. So they wrote in books of false history to make themselves look more powerful and like they'd achieved a lot more than they actually had 300 years prior. So they wanted to make their empire look like it had gone a lot longer. They were much more powerful. They wanted their government and empire and stuff to look more invincible than it actually was by saying there was 300 years of history of them being unconquerable. But
there you go.
if you actually look at evidence, there was 300 years of them being
unconquerable.
unconquerable and like, yeah, that's all real history.
It sounds like a lot of like really sour countries who couldn't beat them were like, man, we'll make up this false flag. I'll show them. 300 years of unconquerableness, I'll show you.
Rebecca says insomnia for the win.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
I have heard one pretty funny conspiracy theory, and I can't remember which country it is, but it's a country in Europe near Russia. It could be Finland. And the theory is Finland doesn't exist. and they say that Finland, it might not even be Finland. I'm just using this country as an example because I can't remember. Someone can fact check for us. But they say that Finland is actually in Russia. And that if you go to Finland and you're like, well, I'm in Finland, Finland exists, you're actually just in Russia.
Yeah.
And they just say, they just pretend it's Finland sort of thing.
But what do they stand to gain from that?
Look, I haven't researched it. There's probably stuff about it.
We'll just convince everyone they're in Finland when they're really in Russia.
I should probably just Google.
Quick, put your Soviet Union stickers away. We're Finland now. There's someone here.
You start speaking Russian to them. You're like, boss for done.
I mean, Finnish.
Finish. Finish.
Finland. Finish, Finland.
That's ridiculous. Maybe because they get people to go to Finland to pump the Russian economy. Maybe that's what they think. It's like you go to Finland, you give all the money to the tourism in Finland, and they take it. But I mean, like that's probably not a huge amount compared to the entirety of Russia. Like I can't think of a motive to try and disprove that. I mean, you look at a globe or anything, and Finland is clearly there.
Yeah, but
it's like
the globes. They just draw it on. Like, seriously though, try
globes
to prove.
Are made of chemtrails.
It sounds stupid, and I don't believe it. But right now, prove that Finland is real.
Well, there were a vast number of Scandinavian Vikings that originated from Finland, and they raided across Europe and were.
Yeah, but that's just history.
I mean, but
it could just
everything is history. Then why does Australia exist? Like the counter argument.
How
do we know China exists?
I've seen conspiracy theories that Australia and New Zealand don't exist, and people in America just stay up late at night and pretend to be Australian. We actually fake culture. Kangaroos aren't real.
We live on a houseboat. We just float across the sea, destination to destination.
Rebecca brings up a good one, the Avril Lavigne one. Have you heard about that?
No,
That's
you
she
put
got a
something like
stand or
that on
something?
your channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of parodied the whole conspiracy theory, even taking it to the next level. But there is an actual Avril Lavigne conspiracy theory that she died in 2003 and was replaced by a doppelganger named Melissa Vandella. Because have you seen her new music?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know she
sings
did
about
music.
Hello Kitty and stuff. Real weird.
What happened to Skater Boy? Was that Avril Lavigne?
What happened to
Yeah.
Skater Boy?
Yeah.
Avril Lavigne is dead. Is
She's
what
dead.
happened.
Why doesn't
Skater
she
Boy
just
died
sing
with
that
her.
one song every concert like 10 times?
Yeah, because
Play
she
that
got
same song
replaced.
again.
Okay.
But if you're looking like 2003, 2004, there's handwriting from Avril Lavigne, and then it's way different the year later. There's just so many things. Her facial features look a bit different, but like similar, like as if. So the theory is she didn't like being famous. So she liked singing, became famous, didn't like it. So she hired this stunt double sort of thing to go out in public and be her and deal with the paparazzi and that.
Mhm.
And her stunt double got so good at it that when she passed away, the stunt double just became Avril Lavigne.
Wow.
Keep making the music, keep making the money, and
So no one thought that the facial feature changes was just a natural occurrence called age?
This weird thing we discovered called puberty.
I feel like
Your
she was
body is going to
post-pubescent
change.
when she became famous.
This
Hey, how's
sounds-
this Skater Boy? She was a
Wow.
man the whole time.
This just
Okay,
sounds like a
okay.
rip-off, like Paul McCartney, like
Elvis is still alive
Yeah,
at a
Elvis
gas
still alive.
station with
Paul
Michael
McCartney
Jackson
died.
in North Carolina.
it's just absurd. Just a rip-off version.
trying to get a good
I'm
photo.
sorry. I mean,
But
like,
here's Avril Lavigne and Melissa Vandella. So she's a real person because they're in the same photo, and I think she's actually hired her before to do that stuff. It's not argued that she had a stunt double or anything. It's
Yeah.
just argued that is the
One
stunt
of
double
them's
her
dead.
right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean-
and you can tell that they look similar, but you can tell them apart. And then what people say is now the Avril today looks more like this person than Avril sort of thing. So that's the theory.
I guess at the end of the day, though, what does it change?
It doesn't.
Nothing. I don't listen to her music either way.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, she kind of dropped off after a Skater Boy thing, and then, like, some other one after that, I can't remember. She used to listen to it.
If you could, would you get a stunt double like that to go to stuff like, maybe there's like a family gathering you might be reluctant to go to or something, or you couldn't make it, so just send them in like to do things for you?
No, because imagine if they, like, did something incriminating.
No, what if they killed you and
In front
took
of
over
you.
your life?
I mean,
Are we talking exact clones or
No, it's a different
Just a
person. It's just stunt double.
I mean,
Well, then you couldn't get framed because it's a different person.
I guess
But if
so.
it was a clone, then you're talking a whole nother thing.
but, like, the family doesn't know that. You do something and he runs off and he, like, I don't know, did something absurd.
Yeah, that's true.
That's you. But
Disgrace
also,
your
like,
entire family.
he can take my life if he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
then
good
just
luck to
replace
him. He can.
Well, it happened to Avril. It can happen to anyone.
That's very true. That's very true.
Does it say how long we've been going for, by the way?
I don't think so. No.
All of the
It
time.
probably says on the computer somewhere it's too far away to see.
Yeah, I've got no clue. Rebecca said something. Oh, the Taylor Swift one where people think she's a relative clone of the Voodoo G family of Satanism. I'm literally Googling these now because I love these.
Well, what did I just
say?
say? What is Voodoo G, Rebecca?
I haven't heard of that one, but I'm completely on board.
Have you heard of
That's,
voodoo?
Have you heard the family Voodoo? Voodoo girl.
Oh no.
I'm curious who this Voodoo G family is, though.
It's an Illuminati family.
Is it?
No.
Oh,
We
yeah.
should
obviously.
think about the family.
I feel like we've been talking about conspiracy theories for a
Yeah,
while. Are we? I don't know how long it's been, but should we get on to the next
I
topic?
think we should
Yeah.
because
Why not?
there'd be too much conspiracy theories going
Yeah,
on.
we could
for
talk
me.
about this all day,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. There's really good ones about Michael Jackson too. Anyway, yeah.
Don't
Oh,
stop.
just
No, we'll leave that for another show.
You're like one of those guys who are
Well,
like,
no,
"Oh,
no.
I need to tell you a secret," and then you go, "What?" And they're like, "Ah, no, don't worry about it. I can't tell you actually." It's like you
Yeah,
can't say that.
We'll
How
have
do
you
know
on for
it now?
Conspiracy Theories Part 2
Yeah.
some other
Oh,
time.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I have this really good one about Michael Jackson. Right, so let's talk about jobs now.
Yeah. You really want to hear
that
it.
to the people.
Topic number 3, man. All
Skipping
right.
ahead.
right.
Yeah, we'll wrap that up.
So we're up to my not my phobia, my topic now, which happens to be phobias.
Mm.
I feel like, I don't know, I Google the definition of phobia and it's an irrational fear.
Mm.
So I feel like if you're scared of snakes, it's kind of justified, if like they can kill you. Like, if you but if you're scared of them to the point that it's just irrational.
But the word for being scared of snakes, which I can't remember what it is, that ends with phobia. Just like any other fear, like arachnophobia.
Well, it's just like arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Like, it's just I feel like it's a natural thing to be scared of spiders. Not scared, but like cautious of them because they can bite you. They're dangerous things. Some can kill you. I don't feel like it's a phobia. That's just a natural thing that everyone has. Like, unless some people really like them for some reason.
I mean, that's definitely my phobia. Spiders. I won't deal with them. Won't fucking.
Yeah. Well,
let's see a spider. I won't like as soon as it's like I'll watch it as much as I can. Quickly dart out, get the spray can. Eyes are on it the whole time until I know it's dead, and then it's just like all the paper towel to pick up this dead spider. I don't know.
No, I'm the exact same, but I'm not watch it for a while and get sprayed. I'm whack this thing with whatever is close to me and beat it to death as soon as I can.
No,
like some people will fight or flight. I'm fight.
You see,
after like a millisecond, it's like bang.
The fight or flight thing. It's like, what if the spider like fucking jumps out at you? Like, you got to keep that distance. That's how bad it is. If you get too close to it, you're gonna get attacked by a spider.
That's definitely a phobia if you're thinking about it that much.
I'm
but like, I'm like,
spiders.
yeah, well, I don't like them, but I'm not like super scared of them. So I feel like mine's just a natural fear that everyone should have. You might have a phobia of spiders, arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Whereas, most people, I don't think anyone really likes getting needles or vaccinations.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say everyone has a phobia, whereas I have a phobia. Like, I think I fainted last time I got them.
Oh, good.
But I didn't want to talk about that one either because it's kind of like spiders and stuff, Needles, no one likes them. They're jabbing something into you. Is
it needles or what's going into you that you're worried more about?
I've never really thought about it. I think it's the actual needle, like the physical piercing.
That's what gets most people. Yeah.
But I want to talk about like real phobias, like irrational, because needles, even though I'm a lot more scared of them than other people, it's kind of semi-justified, would you say?
Yeah.
Like they're stabbing something into you and injecting you with stuff. But I'm also have like this irrational, it's not a fear, but I really hate styrofoam.
Huh.
Now, this is not something that anyone would have a natural fear of. But when someone, and it's not just like I'm looking at styrofoam and like scared of the styrofoam sitting there. It's the noise it makes when you kind of move it a bit. It's that real squeaky sound. It feels it gives me this feeling where if you're like scratching a blackboard with your nails, like have you ever done that?
Yeah,
I know when you do that.
Mean,
it gives me that feeling and I'm like, oh. And so that I would class that as a phobia. Like, I can't stand styrofoam when they squeak it like that.
The last thing I imagine for some reason, you're like unboxing some new camera or something, you hit excited, you see some styrofoam. Just
my whole day.
But Rebecca has said, she was talking about a founding family, not a Voodoo G family of Satanism.
Rectification.
So I have really super bad arachnophobia to the point where I hallucinate them. I'm getting better with it, and I can be in the same room now as one without a panic attack. Well, that's progress.
Is this Rebecca?
Yeah.
It makes me look like I have no
now.
phobia whatsoever now.
Yeah.
No, but that's a phobia. Whereas
100%.
most people are just like have a normal, should be scared of spiders.
She also used to be afraid of microwaves. So there's one that I haven't
That's
heard
probably
before.
more of a phobia because naturally people aren't scared of microwaves.
Some people worried about the radiation and stuff. Like my cousins, so my first cousin's family, they have a microwave. They don't use it. I've never seen them use it, and that's because they're all afraid of it nuking their food real bad with the radiation or standing near it. They're real paranoid of it. So there's that too.
Well, I've got a story about microwaves. I've got two stories about microwaves. One's more related to the topic though. So I have this really good story about microwaves. Anyway, next topic.
Yeah,
but I don't know if this is true because Lockie, my cousin, his dad, John, he's a bit of a joker. Yeah. So you can't really trust what he says.
John. No, never trust what he
says. He told me, he's like, if you put your mobile phone in a microwave and ring it, you're not supposed to be able to hear it. So if you can hear it ring, that means like there's a leak in your microwave and when you turn on the waves get out. And I'm like, okay. And he put the phone in and I can hear it ring in my microwave. So I don't know why I haven't Googled it. But he's like, he keeps saying like, no, this is a fact. Like you need to get a new microwave. So I'm scared when I use mine because I feel like mine's got a leak and the radiation's coming out.
I'm surprised that didn't fuck your phone. Like, phones
don't
work in
No,
microwaves.
he didn't turn on the microwave.
Oh.
He just put the phone in the microwave and rang the phone. So you should. It's just closed, but it should be sealed off that you can't hear the ring.
Right.
Because if you can hear the ring, then there's a leak and the radiation can get out of the microwave while it's on.
Weird.
So mine can ring in there. So I'm kind of scared of my microwave, not other microwaves though. Not fully working ones.
So the whole idea is not that like you can't hear it actually ring it; it's that it shouldn't ring at all because the waves can't get in.
Yeah, you should be able to hear it.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, because I thought you turned it on. Like, did you guys see? I think it was when the iPhone 6 or 5 came out. They were like, "Oh, there's this new app you can get," and someone made a fake app. Like, you could download it from the App Store. Turn this app on, and you don't need to charge it for your phone anymore. Put your phone in the microwave for 30 seconds. It'll charge it all the way up. Blows your phone up.
The people
and a lot of people believe that. Yeah, I agree. They deserve it.
People just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, and it became this Facebook trend because people are trying to get people to blow their phones up. Yeah,
it sucks though because I feel for those people because I'm kind of that real gullible person that'll like not think and just believe that. Like, and some of the things people trick you with on Facebook, I saw this post, and I don't know anything about cars, so if someone tells me something, I'll just believe it. And they said that, like, if you have like a frozen windshield, if you chuck hot water on it, it'll just get rid of it in an instant. And I'm like, okay, hot water, ice, that'll melt it. That's good. I didn't try it out because it wasn't winter, because it must have been like an American thing that posted it. But I'm like, that makes sense. And then people in the comments are like, don't do this. I did it and it smashed my windscreen.
Yeah, it'll crack it.
Like, these bastards. Like, it's not common sense to know that this is going to smash your windscreen. It's just like hot water, ice, that'll probably melt it.
Everyone would be like, that's it.
Yeah, but it turns out it just smashes your windscreen.
It's because of the way the windscreen expands and stuff because of temperature. And if it's a rapid temperature change like that, it just smashes.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Or cracks it. Yeah.
So luckily I didn't try that. But don't try that at home.
Imagine risk of drive to work in the morning.
So Rebecca's put in a few more comments now. So I was more afraid of microwaves exploding, but that's because my dad told me his exploded. So I guess that's where that came from. And that's a fair call. You don't want your microwave to be a grenade.
Does anyone stand near their microwave though? Like, I put something in and go away, so I wouldn't really be scared of it. Really?
I never stand next to it.
I have no cares.
No.
I don't stand next to it because I'm afraid of radiation. I just don't stand next to it because I don't like standing on it.
I rarely put anything in that takes less than a minute. So I'm like, I'm not standing for a minute. I'll go to the toilet or go do something. So you just stand there while it's cooking.
Oh, like near it. If I'm talking to someone, I'll just stand there. I don't know. It's not a conscientious thing.
Rebecca has also really just debunked what Johnny was saying about hearing your phone because it makes total sense. But you can hear popcorn when you microwave it, so you'd be able to hear the phone.
But isn't that what I asked? Like, that the phone wouldn't actually ring? Because, like, I think the idea is that the microwaves can't get out, so the rays can't get in to call your phone. I think that might be what he's trying to say. That's how I interpreted it.
I feel like we've got to test this on your microwave later, just to, like...
if I believe anyone's microwave to be shitty and not work properly, it's ours.
I think the reason I never Googled it, though, is it's my family's microwave. I can't just say, get a new microwave. They'll just be like, no. So I have to use this microwave regardless of if it's radioactive or not. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just not going to know the answer.
It could give you superpowers with the radiation.
But if I Google it, it's like, this will give you cancer. Now, how am I going to live in this house with this microwave?
Easy. You just get a big pitchfork and put everything with a pitchfork, close it, press the button.
Your baked beans in.
And then you stand right back.
Rebecca's made another good point here that fooled a lot of people with iPhones, that new updates made it waterproof all of a sudden. I saw a lot of people fall for that.
And that's obviously a hardware thing, though. Like, what software can do that?
No software can seal all the special parts of the motherboard. Oh, man.
Like, some you just like, that windscreen thing.
That'll get you.
Yeah, she'll get you. Yeah, for sure.
I guess we go back to Phobias as well, though, because we're getting off topic. I got one that's similar.
Now we're talking about microwave
Phobias, shit.
So what's kind of similar to your styrofoam one is like how you hate the sound of it and like just does something.
Yeah, it just gives me a weird feeling.
Mine would have to be having a fabric such as velvet and putting it between your teeth and like ripping it, or like
I've never tried
like trying to rip it or something. I don't know what it is. I think it's just
when did you
fabric
ever try
in general. Have you ever ripped like any fabric for work? Like you're at like, okay, so my parents used to own a mechanic like business, and I'd have to like get rag and rip it up. And just the process of ripping it with your teeth, because you got to get that first rip. Sometimes I hate it. I don't know what it is.
I feel like I'd hate it too.
I'm so unhappy thinking about it.
That's well, that
no.
It's not that it's a phobia. It's just
you just hate the sound.
Well, mine's not really a phobia. I'm scared of stuff. But God, it gives me that weird feeling. Also, sometimes with like permanent markers, those black ones, if you press that really hard, it makes that same sort of noise, and it's just I hate that noise.
My one that really sets me off as a sound is the sound of people eating and like swallowing and drinking, and just if I can hear anyone do that, it makes me angrier and than anything else ever could. It sets me off so bad.
I have a question for you then.
Yeah.
You don't bring it up much when me and Jake eat when we're playing games over the mic. Why is that? I feel like I've just been like getting you so angry. You're sitting here just you won't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's
I'm
got
trying-
one on each hand.
So what you don't know about me is I'm secretly the Hulk, and if I let myself get too angry, I'll be bigger than this room, and I can't afford that in my bond.
So what's your secret?
I'm always listening
Angry.
to people. No, I don't say anything because I don't want to be a dick. Like you need to be able to eat.
I mean, like I can mute mine by putting it up. So can Jake. And we've said if you don't like it, like we give you the option. You're not being a dick.
You're not bad about it, Jake. All the time.
Jake is like Mike in the mouth as he chews.
Well, we recorded the podcast with him a couple of weeks ago, and he was sitting there eating chips like nearly the whole time. You could hear him both eating the chips, going through the packet like a whole podcast. Editing that was a nightmare for me. I was like, I hate this sound.
It's not 100% his fault though. He's not used to doing it, so like,
no, not at all.
He won't do it again. He's already said. So
I've eaten on the podcast before. Like it's fine. It's just that I had to listen to that word that really annoyed me.
Yeah.
But no, it was fine.
I've never really worried about eating noises.
Other phobias I've got is heights, I suppose. I mean, that's a kind of rational one, but no, heights like gives me like insane vertigo if it's a certain height. Like if I'm strapped in, it's fine. Like I love abseiling and shit like that, roller coasters, that's all fine. But if I'm not strapped into something, I'm looking over an edge or standing up or something, I just get like insane vertigo. I get real dizzy. So
I got scared at a bloody like a shopping centre or a mall or whatever you call it in Canberra.
Oh, just looking down?
Yeah, really. It was like 3 stories, right? Or I was on the 3rd story. It was like 5 stories. But like,
is it a big open area?
No, it was actually not in Canberra. It was up on the Gold Coast. But it's like, so in the middle, so you go around the shops, but in the middle, you know how they're normally open. Like it's not a weird thing, and you can look down and see what shops are on the other level, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like there was like a barrier, but it was like this high separating you from there. So like if you tripped, you're like that's not going to stop you. If someone bumps into you, if someone's running, you're gone. Like I'm staying away.
I'd be standing on the very furthest edge, close to the shops.
But you think like
Sam's strapped in. He's got his like pegs.
I've got a helmet on.
It's good. But like Australia has like safety standards that are so high. Like how can they get past that? Like some little kid could climb it. And like,
didn't anyone tell you that top level was toddlers only?
Really?
Yeah. Didn't they tell you that?
Why were you up there? How'd you get in?
How are you not arrested?
Rebecca said she can't stand the noise. We're talking about that noise. I think the texter one. Noise that it makes. She also said the noise of her hair breaking in a hairbrush because her hair's so. My hair is long, so knots super easily. The noise it makes her cringe so bad.
I don't know what that sounds
like.
I don't know if I've ever heard it. Maybe actually, I don't know. I don't know what part of the brushing process.
Well, there'd have to be a long hair kind of thing, I'd imagine.
I mean, like my sisters have long hair, and so like I don't know. I've grown up around that. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't pay attention.
Well, I think it'd be more a thing that
my pubes.
I think it'd be more a thing that you can only do it if it's your own hair. You'd only hear it.
This is good.
She also said faults on a plate. That's a good one.
No, that is a good one when it has that scratch
sound. That noise.
Love it.
I can definitely understand your phobia of needles too, though, Dylan.
Yeah,
I mean, for a while, because I'm a diabetic, when I first got it for the first year, I had to give myself 4 needles a day. So I didn't have what I have now. My insulin pump was just permanently there. I had to inject myself 4 times a day. And even after doing that, I've constantly had needles in me since then, and I still hate them. Every time I have to give blood or something, it's like, ooh.
If I was diabetic, I don't think I could live. Like,
but just take me now.
You know how there's 2 types of diabetes?
Mm-hmm.
Do both get needles?
Oh, it depends. So type 1 always does. Type 2 depends how bad you've got it.
What's the one that's like, you don't just get it like it runs in your family?
Hereditary one.
That's type 2. Yeah.
Type 2.
So my
did you say type 2 is the new one?
No, type 1 is. Type 2 can be, depends how bad you've got it. So
because that runs in my family. And I didn't know till recently. And my grandpa's like, he was in the hospital and we were visiting him. And like the nurse or whatever came over and said, do you have any like medical conditions? He's like, yeah, I have diabetes. And I'm like, diabetes? I can't get that shit. Does that run in the family? I can't get that shit.
Eat healthy, you'll be fine.
Yeah, so I have been. I'm not getting that. I'm staying away from needles. God.
Yeah.
And also now that I'm 19 now, so I feel like my neck. Do you need to get vaccinations? You do every now and then when you're older and that. I feel like I'm responsible for booking them in now, so I can just see myself not getting them for a while.
Probably the main thing is just a flu shot, keeping you like.
I've never got the flu shot.
Really?
Never.
I've never had a flu shot either.
I've never, touch wood, I've never had the flu.
Weird. I only got one like in Canberra because there was a huge one going around the city, and they're like, you should probably all go get checked. I mean,
I feel like the flu shot's the thing that
you
get once you get the flu. because I've never got it, but I heard it's bad. Like, and you never want to get it again. So I feel like, have you never had the flu?
No, I mean, like, I've never had it because I've always been like immune to it, and I'm like, you get a little bit sick sometimes.
Yeah, I get colds all the time.
Like, yeah.
Like I've had colds and I'm like, yeah, I've had the flu before, just thinking it's the same thing.
No.
And I've asked my friend, he's like, I thought I was going to die. I'm like, well, I've definitely not had a cold that bad. I must have had the flu.
The sniffles.
Yeah, I've
That's
had the
pretty bad.
sniffles.
I coughed once.
I've had the
times
man
a day.
flu, but not the actual flu.
Yeah, no, so I just don't want to get that, so I've kept the immune system up.
My dad's girlfriend never hears it, so constantly scratches the plate. She also chews with her mouth open. Oh, Sambo couldn't live.
Across the table, slept.
Hulk smash.
Easy fix.
Yeah, wouldn't be much of a jaw left to be eaten with.
If you were hit by the Hulk, no.
So,
We've been going for just under 40 minutes, I think.
okay, cool.
That's not too bad.
No, not at all.
We've done good pacing.
I mean, even if we cruise through the third topic eventually, I'm happy just to chat shit too. So,
I mean, I don't want to be in here as longer than I need to with the two of you. Let's be honest.
Can we just cue the sad music? All around me are familiar faces.
Just need the Thug Life glasses to come down now. Well, welcome to the musical ensemble part of the podcast where we all play our chosen instruments. I'm on the drums.
I'm on the saxophone. Saxophone.
I have no musical talent, so I'll just watch. Show me moral support.
Do a freestyle.
Can you play the spoons?
No. Next topic. Is anyone getting hot in here though? For real? Like,
I'm actually
it's
very
getting
hot
really
in here.
I'm being very cautious to keep my arms down here because I know these sweat patches are real. I haven't looked at it, but I know they're there.
I know that. Can I open the window? Is that a thing?
Yeah, go for it, man. There's a quick
Fresh
interjection. Have you ever had sweat patches in like a spot where you'd be very embarrassed to have sweat
Yes.
patches? I haven't.
So bad.
thankfully, but
So bad.
The other day, it was my girlfriend's year 12 graduation, and we had to wear a suit. And it's like, is it summer yet? It's not summer,
It's
but
getting there.
it's like, it feels like it.
Late
It's Australia, so it's pretty hot. And it was a pretty hot day. So, and I'm in this like full suit with a vest and everything. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to take my jacket off because I'm getting way too hot. And I'd only had it on for like 10 minutes. And the sweat patches were massive in 10 minutes. And I'm like, I'm not taking this off for the rest of the day. I don't care how hot it gets.
And
I can't have that.
Are you sure you want to take your jacket off? You
Yeah,
sweat prof.
yeah,
No, it's a
it's-
bit cold actually.
Yeah. I do do that though.
hey,
Like, I'll
Dylan,
wear
you
my-
gonna take your jacket off? Nah, man, it's not hot.
I'll wear my jumper when it's really hot just to cover the patches. Like
Yeah,
you've got to sometimes.
So my one is when I was traveling overseas, I had like just a shirt, like a dress shirt, just a button-up one. It wasn't dress, but just a nice shirt. And carrying a backpack around during the day.
Oh yeah, that'll get your
That's
back
right.
nice and juicy.
Yeah, like that was bad. And then I was like, okay, I won't do that again. Next day, when I did the same thing without the backpack, and it's still like my back was
Oh.
sweaty, just like this shirt that you could obviously tell was wet.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
oh god, everyone can see this giant wet patch on my back and on my arms. I mean, like it was like I want to say 38 degrees. I'm just like, oh my god, please kill me.
Mm.
If I get smoked right now, I won't be unhappy about
No
it.
amount of anti-perspiration deodorant can prepare you for that. You could bathe in that stuff, and you're still gonna sweat a storm.
I just thought of a hack that I'd probably do if I was in a situation like that and didn't have a jumper. That's my normally go-to, chuck on a jumper to cover it. But I reckon I'd go to the bathroom. No, maybe not the bathroom either. Just somehow get all of me wet and just be like, oh, the bloody tap. Yeah, look at this. And then it's like covers it. If you're all wet,
Yeah.
no one's like, that's sweat. That's just like, bloody hell, the tap broke off. And yeah, it's
I thought that too.
catastrophe.
Like that was my go-to. Then I was like, I'm not walking around for the rest of the day in a completely wet shirt.
Yeah, true.
This is going to be so
It
uncomfortable.
depends in what type of social context you're in. If you don't care, if you're in a different country, who do you know? But if
Oh
you're,
no! More so, it's just uncomfortable. Like
Yeah.
it's like
True.
the shirt I was wearing
Shirt
just felt.
sticks to you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just and hot. Like when it's like that hot, it's like everything's evaporating around you, so it feels humid. I don't know.
yeah, I see
Wasn't
what
for
you
me.
mean.
Yeah, wasn't great. Wasn't great.
Oh, we got
Oh.
a new person in here.
Oh,
We
hey.
better read these comments. Spruce Moose.
Is that Ollie?
boys.
Show us your rig. Show us your sweaty testicles, Shaggins.
Oh, you wish, mate. You wish, Ollie.
Rebecca says, my innocent eyes.
I want to fuck the dude in the middle. Well, you know where I live. You don't know where I live anymore, actually. But I'll give you my address, Ollie. You can come right over.
I implore you, please.
Oh,
Alright. No.
get on to the last topic, you reckon?
Yeah, last topic.
Through.
Jobs.
Jobs.
So today I had a job interview. I've been unfortunately unemployed for a little bit. I had a job interview, and I was thinking that went well. And it just got me thinking, like, what was everyone's first job? Maybe have some good stories, jobs that you might have hated, maybe a job that you never want to do, just jobs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so are you going to elaborate on your experience today, or like?
Yeah, actually, what happened today? So I went in, and someone who was in the year above me at school served me actually, and that was weird. I didn't know she worked there. She was like, "Oh yeah, there's not a break room here, so it'll be at a cafe just across the street." I was like, "Yeah, cool." And I was like, "I know my interview is with someone who has I probably won't drop names, but typical girl's name." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So the boss is a girl. Sat down, and then there was a guy who pops up.
Really?
It's like, "Yeah, g'day, my name's." I was like,
so was it a unisex name or a name like a girl's name, but it was a guy? Really?
Yeah.
So it was like Samantha or something. And
No, it wasn't like that. It's unisex for
So it
sure.
wasn't
Nah, not at all.
It's
Have you ever
definitely
heard?
unisex.
Have
I
you ever
kind
heard
of want to
that
hear the
name?
name, but I know you can't.
No,
So it's
yeah,
kind of
not.
Can you whisper to me and I'll decide if it's... Yeah, that's a girl's name, I reckon. I've never heard a guy.
I think I've definitely.
Really?
Fuck you, Ben. Get out of here.
No, I think that's definitely unisex.
But yeah, it was like the most brief interview I've ever had. It went for like not even 5 minutes, and he was more interested in what I do outside of work than like actual work. But I feel like it went well.
That happened to me when I had an interview. I feel like I don't know. When I remember when I went for an interview, my first job was McDonald's. The guy was talking about World of Warcraft. And I don't even play that game. And this guy's like a 40-year-old manager talking about it. I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is this relevant? Because I don't know what my expectations were going into a job interview because I hadn't had one before.
Was that your first job?
Yeah, McDonald's there for 4 years. 4 long years.
Yeah, good.
Flipping burgers? Or were you
burgers.
Ronald McDonald?
No,
You know how there's the Ronald McDonald that's sitting on the bench outside through the drive-through? I've always been pretty sure it's a statue, but it could be some poor soul's job to be there all the time.
That was
Yeah.
Dylan's.
Yeah.
That was him.
That was me, just a lot of face paint. Rebecca worked in a pizzeria, but the boss was like 54, was a perv, and she was 16. Last job I ever worked in public.
Yeah, wow.
Public jobs are great.
Speaking of bad jobs, I feel like I always talk about Lockie on these podcasts. He just has too many stories.
Yeah.
But he's had like, not including the job he's in now, he's had like 4 other jobs, and all of his bosses have been terrible.
Oh,
like
really?
one's
sucks.
literally in jail.
Oh,
But
really?
like, I don't want to say on camera what he's in for, but you'll be like, what the hell? Like, if you hear it. One's in jail, one like went bankrupt and never paid the employees. You know, he's just had like these crazy bosses. And I'm like, damn, I got a pretty good run. Like Paul Lockie is just dealing with these terrible people like Rebecca, this 54-year-old. Have you guys ever had any terrible bosses?
Yeah.
Kind
Not
of.
like that though. None of them are in jail.
Yeah, like not to that extent. I mean, the one that I thought was a bit of a dick, like half his body got burnt by tar. I mean,
Really?
that's pretty shit. But
Before or after he was your boss?
after.
Before or after?
Was it you? You're a dick of a boss.
No, he was just like an old bloke, and he was just, the classical hard ass, like talk shit, like just being a complete like dick most of the time, and like just telling you, if you did something that wasn't quite like he said, he'd be up here. The next minute, he's saying something weird again. You're like, I can't read you. It's just weird. And then, so I left that job because I was there for only 2 weeks. It was just contract employment, and I found out a couple months later, like he was in the ICU because he was burnt so much by tar it exploded off one of the trucks.
Dang.
So yeah,
What job?
Karma, maybe?
What job was that? Like, what kind of
road sealing
Oh,
crew.
okay. So I'm like, what kind of job would you get done by tar? I'm trying to think. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, when I was at Domino's? No.
Oh, yeah,
I never had
Man
a
of
McDonald's.
So that was pretty rough. I mean, but it wasn't that bad that I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but like definitely didn't deserve to have his body covered in tar.
Yeah. I don't think many people deserve that.
No.
So I've actually got a job interview this Monday. I finished my full-time job on Wednesday, and I've only ever had one interview in my life because the last job I was working in, it was for my dad, so you don't really need an interview when it's a family business. So how many interviews have you guys had, and can you give me some tips? Because I've only ever had one like 6 years ago now. Yeah, so I need to know what to expect. What do I need to prepare? Some tips.
First off, don't wear pants.
Don't.
Okay, so let's just evaluate this here. Is this going to be serious tips, or are we going to go for serious tips?
Well, we're not wearing pants right now on the CasualCast. So
Yeah,
I feel like
you can't prove that we're not.
but it is more casual. No, we are wearing pants. I just looked at the screen. I'm like, you can't see us. Maybe
This is a casting couch, so.
It's all natural from the waist down, baby.
Okay, to make this more interesting, what about, have you ever done anything in a job interview that you're like, shit, I shouldn't have said that or shouldn't have done that? So some like tips to avoid, some mistakes to avoid in a job interview.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I don't think I have. I've only had 2 and they went pretty smoothly.
Pretty well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, the one that I had, it was a great interview, but then I thought, so
I should have worn pants. God
Should have
damn.
worn pants.
why did I flop my dick on the table?
Just walked up, you're like, is this enough resume?
Sorry, I thought it was the interview for the brothel.
You can see why I'm confused.
Yeah. We're in the middle of a cafe right now. No, yeah, I have. So what I did, someone asked why I had left my previous employer, and I didn't have very great things to say about my previous employment there. And I forgot that the boss from that time was on my references, my resume.
Oh.
So when they called my reference, they told them my opinions of the job.
Oh.
And yeah, that didn't go too well. But yeah.
Wait, so you're saying you went for a job interview, you said some bad stuff about your previous boss to the person interviewing you. So then the person interviewing you rang your old boss and told them what you said about them.
I feel like that's a breach of trust.
Yeah, why would they do that? It seems strange.
I mean, like
yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't talking about the boss specifically, but more the workplace and what I didn't like.
So maybe they were friends or something.
I mean,
I don't think they knew each other.
Well, if I was the interviewer, I wouldn't just ring up your old boss and be like, "I've got some doss for you." It was like, well, Sam said he left for these reasons. It was like Sam said he left for these reasons. Blah blah. Like didn't feel like the place was running well, etc. etc. And he's like, "Would you agree?" And then so then kind of downhill from there.
Right. Did he contact you?
The things I said weren't wrong either, but I could have worded them nicer.
Did he contact you, or are you still working there, or?
No, I wasn't working there at the time, but in my feedback, when the guy rang back to tell me that I hadn't gotten the job, so he was telling me about it. Yeah, he was saying the phone call didn't go too well. So,
like this dude's just heard that you've attacked his business, and so he's probably.
I didn't attack his business.
Yeah, but like he would have felt that. So I'm assuming he's just like gone on a fucking tirade of things that were wrong with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably. Were they justified, you reckon? Are you a shitty worker, Sam?
No, I was a good worker. Although I didn't suit certain aspects of that place that I was working at. But that's because it was a shitty place to work.
So do you reckon like the guy just made up shit about you? He's like,
without
shit about my business? Well, you know, Sambo, what he did. Yeah.
Because everyone else on my reference list would have given me a shining review, absolutely. But yeah,
I can't believe that. I can't believe someone would like take that information in your interview and like relay it to a previous employer because they know that's going to mar.
I'm thinking
in hindsight, though, I'm glad I didn't get the job that I applied for.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm thinking they must have known each other though or something.
You reckon?
It would have to be that, surely.
Yeah, because that would be.
But no tips for your job interview.
Dress well. Actually, dress well.
Yeah.
Like,
be yourself.
Present well.
Rebecca said she works online. As a mod, so that's pretty great. It's great. She doesn't have to leave a house. How do I get a job like you, Rebecca? Please, can you hook me up? Like legit.
I
don't have a job right now. Hook me up. Neither does Samo. Hook us up.
I mean, I
technically by Monday. You don't
hook us all up, please. Rebecca said good luck. So it must be for the job interview. She wore pajamas for her interview for the job she has now. She doesn't know why, but she guesses it was fine.
What?
Dang.
Damn, I want that.
Yeah, I want a job like
need that.
Please. How do we get one, Rebecca?
I'm gonna wear my PJs all day.
I think a good attitude to go into a job interview with, because usually they screen people, before they interview them. Especially with the last few jobs I've applied for, you get called by the HR, they give you a mini interview, and then you go in. So they recommend you to the boss of the place.
Yeah, well,
so which means they go in with the attitude that they want to employ you. You just got to show them why.
Yeah.
Well, apparently for this job, I have to do 2 separate interviews. The first one is with some not low down people, but they said if you do well in this interview, then your next interview will be with like the senior managers or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess the big managers don't have time to interview everyone. They're like, just give us the people who are actually good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. I'll be more nervous for the second interview, I reckon.
Yeah.
Probably like to a degree, you're not going to go over the top with it. Tell them kind of what you think they want to hear.
Yeah.
Like you can't go and make up like ludicrous things that you don't believe and that you wouldn't do in the workplace. But like they ask you a question like, oh, so there's a customer looking for something. what do you do? You're obviously like, oh, well, I greet them politely, I go up and you just tell them what they would expect you to do.
I hate those types of questions, the scenario questions.
So I hate them too.
That-
They're
that-
ridiculous because
yeah,
it's
I
like,
hate
it's
them
nearly
too.
just basic.
They almost
Like,
make
basic
them though
humanity.
like impossible to answer. It's like, how do I answer?
I
This?
think
It's
I think there's a
ridiculous
point of
question.
that. I don't think they expect you to give a correct answer. They want to see your thought process and solve
I'd
a problem.
agree. If I was an
Yeah,
interviewer,
yeah.
I'd do it too, but I just suck at answering them.
Yeah, I hate them. No, what I hate is like, tell us about yourself. Like, oh fuck, where do I start?
Oh, I've got this train wreck again.
My name's Sam. I'm a human being.
I just say to them, look, this is a rabbit hole you do not want to go down.
I like math.
Finland exists. Yeah.
But what else do I hate about job interviews?
Just probably being like nervous is the main thing. Try and don't psych yourself out before you go in. Because a lot of the time you're like, bet this is it. Like I'm talking to them, if I get anything wrong, I'm screwed. But it's like they're a person too. They know you're like nervous. They're gonna like realize that if you take a little bit of time, if you ask like, can I just like have a minute to think? Sorry, I'm just really nervous. They're gonna usually be empathetic to that, unless you're like being interviewed by Cruella de Vil. She's not going to be full of that.
You have nerves, you have emotions, get out of here.
You kill puppies.
Yeah.
You're hired.
One thing I like to do though is they always ask you if you have any questions. Don't ask them questions about the job itself first, like what hours are you getting, what's the pay. Ask them what they look for in an employee, and then when they tell you that, tell them why that's you. Yeah.
I feel like you've been researching this or something for your job interviews, or did you just?
No, I just thought about it for this one.
That
because-
sounds like something like an actual piece of advice.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Oh, so everything else we said is just shit, like don't wear pants?
Just got that.
Rebecca said, "Okay, to be honest, if you really want it, give me your email and I'll suggest you to my manager."
Woohoo!
Hey,
Job for all.
I'll do it first.
Me first.
Rebecca said, "Do you speak other languages like Turkish, Spanish, German fluently?"
Nine.
Do you?
Merhaba Türküsün seni çok güzel seni çok seviyorum.
Spanish?
Turkish.
Mahaba.
She even
That's
that
Turkish.
was the first one she listed.
That's funny because that's the only thing I know in it.
I know how to say hello.
Which is, I think, hello, beautiful
Mahaba.
Turkish
Yeah,
girl. Will you
Mahaba.
marry
you
me?
said it so conditionally. I thought it was fluent.
No, that's like
Yes,
that's how you say it.
I
I'm
will.
pretty sure.
Well, Rebecca, do you speak Turkish? Because it was the first one you listed, so I feel like she might know some Turkish.
Yeah.
Is what Ben just said, was it right?
Merhaba.
Say it again, sorry.
Merhaba Türküsün seni çok güzel seni çok seviyorum.
Where did you learn that? And what do you
Turkey.
reckon it says?
I learned that in Turkey, and I'm pretty sure it
Turkey taught
means
me.
"Hello, beautiful girl, will you marry me?" Something like that. Because when we stayed at a dormitory of like schoolboys, and they taught us little phrases and things, and that's the one that stuck with me.
Do you reckon, like, they could have just been saying whatever and you're saying something really stupid?
Could well be.
Like, yeah,
Could well be.
that's what I want to know. Oh, no, Rebecca said no, she just speaks English and Irish. Irish, that's pretty cool.
Now I just look like an idiot.
Just
talk gibberish.
Fuck the Mayweathers. Is that how you speak Irish? Fuck the Mayweathers.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, not just an Irish accent.
She speaks a really cool sport. Gaelic football is a really cool sport.
I play Gaelic.
Football.
You idiot, Stimpy.
Stimpy.
Stimpy, you idiot.
Do you speak any other languages?
No. I'd like to start learning. I would really like to be able to speak
What
something.
language would you want to learn, though?
I want to probably say
Italian.
like Japanese or Chinese.
Oh,
Since that's
Japanese
probably
as well.
one of the most useful ones.
And I watch a lot of
see it,
Japanese
though,
shows, so
I reckon surely it's not that weird to think that the technology soon will, like, you won't need to speak other languages. Like,
No, that's
yeah,
already
like,
here.
I don't doubt
yeah,
it,
it's
yeah.
like
Translate just basically.
no, that's already. Have you guys seen the earbuds that come with the Google Pixel 2 phone at all? They have Google
I have-
Translate built in,
I've
so
heard about
they can
that.
pick up people speaking another language and it translates it straight into your ears, into your own language that
Would
you
that-
preset.
also not like be marred by like big groups of people, so it's only going to work in.
Well,
like,
I haven't
small situations,
tested it,
is
so I'm
it
not
must
sure.
be like one-on-one. But
Yeah.
but the point is, like, to learn a language like Chinese, it probably take a lot of hours of studying and everything. It's probably not a great time investment, especially if you're looking at it as because I think you said I'd learn that one because of like
It just being like useful because like obviously like I watch shows that are in like Japanese or Chinese, and it's like one of the most booming nations in the world. So therefore,
Yeah.
like
Well, if you're
makes
doing it
sense.
for that, then I don't really. Could you use a Google Translate sort of earbuds for watching a show?
No, except
yeah, I
usually the
wouldn't think-
subtitles anyway.
also
Yeah, so
like
that would be all right then.
I think it's like really hard for like those languages too because there's so many different dialects of it. Because I think there's over 158 different versions of Chinese. This could be wrong. Like, this is just something I
And
remember.
phrasing and context is really important as
Yeah.
well.
So it makes it really hard to do. But otherwise, I would go probably Spanish if it was going to be like a more just general language.
And
I think that'd be nice to know.
I feel bad for. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, just because like then you can go to like Spain and Portugal.
I feel bad for people who don't have English as a first language though,
Yeah,
because it's the hardest language in the world to learn.
And it's
I
almost
don't think
become
it's the hardest. I think
Yeah,
it's
it's one of
Mandarin.
I've heard.
I've always heard
Mandarin's
it's the hardest.
I'm sure Mandarin is.
If you think about it, though, it's a real
Like we use
messed up
one word for
language.
50 different reasons
Yeah, it's a
and 50
stupid
different
language.
spellings for the same word that sounds the same.
Same.
Like, same but different.
And I feel like English is kind of like a universal language almost.
Yeah, most
like,
people learn it.
When
yeah.
I went to Nepal, a lot of people there speak English. It's just like that's the language everyone speaks. Arabic is the hardest.
Arabic. There you go.
Is English on there anyway?
Mandarin.
Oh, Mandarin. That was English. I
No,
always
no.
heard it was the hardest. There you go.
Maybe
So it isn't.
some English guy just said that to make himself feel good. Like,
Yeah,
English
probably.
is heaps hard.
That wouldn't surprise me. Any more chat?
Yes. Rebecca said, I was like, what does that word say? It's in a different language.
That's a different language, yep.
Okay, not sure in the last word spelling. So that must be Irish or Gaelic. That was ingrained in the brains of every toddler and all the way through primary school because you were not allowed to go to the bathroom unless you asked in Irish.
Wow.
I don't even know how to pronounce that. Like that word, the feel. Like how do
Show
you?
us a look.
It's like
Can we all have an attempt and
Yeah.
see who gets
Okay.
closest?
Yeah, Rebecca judge who will get closest. I'm not going to try and put on the accent as well as trying to read this.
No, you have to.
to.
CasualCast rules.
We feel that sounds Russian. God
Ooh.
damn. Can I go?
Feel.
I don't want to go first.
Scum,
Okay,
scum,
okay, let me a
scum.
second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Diddly dee potatoes. But if you kid agam dul good. What's the last word? DTI. Un literes. No, man. That was terrible. Give me a goddamn.
Alright.
Perfect.
Fucking hell. Alright. And if you kid agam dul gordi on Litharis fucked a Mayweather's at the gold at the end of the rainbow.
Better than mine.
I can't find. Oh wow.
Like some of the words look just like consonants. It's like, how do you
Shit.
get them out?
Unbufio said Agamdul God G maybe on Litharis.
Yeah, I reckon that was the best.
I
Rebecca, what do you think? That actually sounded like it could be something.
Alright, who did the best? Say the one on the left, the middle, or the right? Which you're the right.
How about just
Oh no,
names?
you're on the left if you're looking on the.
Dylan Sam Ben.
Yeah, it's a bit easier.
Oh, she's not gonna remember. Like, I wouldn't expect anyone to remember everyone's
We
name.
could have just
if you
said it
haven't
though,
watched
like literally
Yeah,
just
Dylan,
said Dylan
Sam,
Sam
Ben.
Ben.
Even if someone did that for me, I'd be like, yes. It's like that episode of The Simpsons where they're going into witness protection and they're telling Homer your name is like Thomas whatever.
Homer J. Simpson, yes.
All right, when I say this, you reply, "Hello, my name is Thomas." My life says it. The Homer's just like,
And he's like stamping on his
I think he's talking to you. Ben got it the best.
Yeah, I thought so.
0.1 to me. I'm going straight to Gaelic language
First
course.
20 points wins.
Can you hit us up with another one?
Yeah, sure, we did.
I feel like I
Round 2 redemption round.
All right,
Yeah,
Dylan's starting again.
Round 2, Rebecca. Oh, she has done another one already.
Oh wow, you're ahead of it.
Oh, it's the exact
You
same
could
thing.
run the cast.
Is it?
I think she just wrote it in a way where you can like kind of how it's pronounced instead of the
Oh,
spell.
I didn't even see that first word. I completely skipped that.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll try with the. So it's actually pronounced On Vivil Kaid Agam Dal Gadi On Leheras.
Right.
That's yeah.
Nice. I can't remember what I said or what Sam said or what you said, but
No, but didn't
Can
sound
I go
like
to the
that,
bathroom? I was imagining to be fuck the Mayweather is gonna go to the bathroom.
I'll never forget I was on a train going to Ireland and this extremely intoxicated Scottish guy, he got his bag stuck on a hook and he couldn't move and I'm just like, buddy. And I lift off and he looked back and he's going, "What is your first ticket?" And I'm sitting there like, what? Am I even going to get beaten? And he just looked around and he just waved and it's just like,
Sometimes I wonder
You
if
say that
our,
again.
it was just like,
Oh, did you get over there?
it was just really high pitched, weird like things in the middle, and then and I'm just like, dude, I got nothing. I'm so sorry. But to be fair, he was so drunk. Like I don't think he knew where he was going.
Sometimes I wonder if our accent sounds like that to some people. Like
I think it would.
Well,
I think Australians actually have, and Kiwis have some of the worst accents in the whole world.
Well,
I can't.
How could
stand
anyone
that
understand us?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
I
well,
feel like it would be so hard because
We talk
blur
that quick,
words.
and yeah, we slur it all together. And everyone, their perception of English would either be British or primarily American English, how they pronounce it.
Yeah.
All their letters are very well pronounced. And then with us,
with the
it's like, hey, we're being, yeah, go, mate. Yeah.
It's like just
You
a
know, you trim on the baby right here, fucking down the M4 up the Gold Coast, mate.
You're such a legs
he's the
up,
Scottish equivalent.
Yeah. No, because like testimony to that is when we went overseas and Jake would we'd go to a group and he was just like, "G'day, how you going?" And they're like, "Excuse you? What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh,
Here you
hello,
go.
how are you?"
G'day, how you going?
"G'day, how you going?"
He says it all as well. G'day,
Because like most Australians will know that's what you're saying if you say
Yeah.
"G'day, how you going." Like
except
it's
it's
weird.
Agan is OWAGARN.
how do
Agan.
you spell it? Agan.
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 Rebecca said, "I'm honestly just going to tweet you how to say it later. Thank you. I can understand everything perfectly. I prefer Australian than any other LMAO." But she's Irish though, so I feel like
That's cool.
for an American it'd be harder. You
I
reckon?
feel maybe I
don't know. Maybe I'm just. I don't know.
honestly it's just too hard to judge because we don't know.
Yeah, well, we're closer to British English
Yeah.
than American.
Easy.
Yeah,
so-
absolutely. The funny thing about Americans as well is they have so many different American accents depending where you're from. You don't get that in Australia.
Yeah, you do.
Not
I reckon
not
we
to the
do.
same
Have you
extent
Have you heard
at
someone
all.
from Melbourne?
Yeah, if you go to
it's
the
slightly
city-
different, but in America,
I
if
think
you have
it's
someone
definitely-
from
yeah,
New
it's
York
different.
and then the South, those are two entirely
Yeah,
different accents.
That's like
I
that's
think-
like two extremes. of
Yeah,
a
that's
much
too extreme.
bigger
But
nation.
I agree with Ben. We definitely have different accents. Like especially the rural towns to people in the city. I reckon.
Like it's not like an insult in any way, but I think like if you're from like growing up in Melbourne, like you don't have that accent as strong. Like
Yeah.
people overseas I met, and I'm like, "Oh, where you from?" And like Australia, don't you know? I was like, I couldn't really tell. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's not an insult. It just wasn't as like prominent that weird like accents we put on.
Also, I met a guy from Melbourne, and they have different words down there too. Like not a different language,
Slangs.
obviously, but they use like a word. I think it was grouse, GROUSE, and he left a comment on my videos. He's like, "That's grouse." I'm like, "It's gross. Like I didn't do anything gross." So I had to Google it. And it's like it just means like awesome or cool or something.
Weird.
But I'm
It's
like,
a gross
"Damn,
house.
It's another place.
they're in the same country as us, but they have different words. Like I'm like, what? I've never heard of this before. And I googled it, it's like Melbourne slang. And I'm like, oh, okay,
there you
they have
go.
different slang down there. So.
It's like up here we have Shawalimbadak and Ben. That means.
There you go.
I made that up, but I'm glad you followed up quickly.
Yeah, no, that's it.
That is a nice boulder, is what it actually means.
Oh right, shit. No, so see, different dialects, different areas.
You're from a town 2 hours away from here, different dialects, different.
Yeah, every hour it changes.
Have you guys heard the word grouso used?
No.
Never.
No, never.
Never. And I've seen it a couple of times on Facebook since, so I guess they use it down there, but I've never.
You might be like looking for it now.
People always think I'm Scottish. I can tell the difference between a Scottish and
Yeah.
Irish accent, but at the same time, if I try and impersonate one or the other, I probably do the wrong
Right.
one. Like my voice just naturally, if I try an Irish, would just naturally go
I
to
feel like
Scottish.
Irish
and-
is a little bit higher or something like higher
Look,
pitch.
Mine,
Maybe you've
Yeah,
met
they're different
Rebecca
accents.
and you just thought she was Scottish on the train.
Oh, was
maybe-
that
was that
Rebecca?
you?
Was that-
Oh, you were the man with the backpack.
Where's the one? Yeah, I feel the potatoes. I caught a McGregor.
No, the way I've always seen is like there's Irish, which has like that thick accent, the classic Irish accent, and then there's like Scottish, which is like angry Irish.
Yeah, I always
You may not take our lives. No, you may not take our. No, you may take our lives.
You may-
But you may not take our freedom.
I always just think groundskeeper Willie for Scottish. That's just
Bonjour.
Turn your book to chapter 1, but I'm up to chapter 6. Then you'll be teaching Willie.
Bonjour, you cheese eating surrender monkeys.
Grease me up, woman.
Oh man.
Yeah,
There are no Irish characters in The Simpsons.
yeah, there are.
Are there?
Who?
There's this leprechaun, a lot, and there's like another Irish. I can't remember his name. I think the guy called Finnegan. Like they're like single episode ones.
Right.
Definitely, there's been like ever.
I mustn't seen those ones.
But yeah,
Have you
no.
ever noticed? I've just realised this. Like, well, I've realised it before, but on The Simpsons, there's yellow people and then there's black people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's why is that?
Hmm.
I think they touched on that in the Family Guy Simpsons crossover episode. I can't remember what they said about it. Yeah, they're like, why are you yellow? Because everyone else is obviously white or black
Mhm.
in Family Guy.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember what the answer was. That
Yeah,
answer
strange.
Obviously, wasn't going to stick with you.
So it wasn't a good one. It was just shitty 2 episodes anyway. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Rebecca said we have the stupidest slang. Conor McGregor is a mong.
I agree. He is a mong. Conor McGregor, he's a mong.
He's a mong.
All right.
It's all about the money.
I think we've covered all.
It's
the
like the
topics.
leprechaun at the end of the rainbow, just about the money.
I've never seen the Simpsons leprechaun, but is he yellow?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But Irish people aren't yellow.
No. But black people are
Neither
black.
is like most
Apparently,
people.
according to the Simpsons.
I don't think anyone's yellow.
Oh, some people changed though. Smithers used to be black, now he's yellow.
What?
Yeah, Smithers in the first one or 2 seasons was
Yeah.
black, and then they thought that having a secretary who worked for a yellow rich
Yeah.
man was racist, so they made him yellow.
And they changed
Dang.
like all the other ones.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Was he like the same guy but dark skin, or was he like a
Yeah,
different?
exactly
dark
the same
skin?
with dark
Really?
skin.
Because I can't imagine him with dark skin. He looks like
It's
a
like
white
it's like a
guy, doesn't
brown more than anything, like just a palette brown, I guess.
he? Right. Okay.
Yeah. No. There you go. Changes in.
Yeah, how long have we been gone for?
Yeah.
Over an hour, I think.
Oh boy.
Should we wrap it?
We should
Yeah.
wrap her up.
Let's wrap it. Well, Rebecca and Ollie and anyone else who might have tuned in, thanks for tuning in today. Definitely go and check out Dylan's stuff if you haven't already. I'm sure that's where most of you would have come from, though. Is Dylan Swain on YouTube and at Dylan Swain AU on Twitter.
That's it.
That's it.
Dylan
Go
Swain,
check him out.
Dylan Swain was taken.
Yeah.
Still,
Dang.
it's tragic.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
well.
go follow him on Twitter. He puts up awesome content. It's different a lot, but it's always consistently good.
Very different.
So definitely keep that in mind. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us, Banter Lab. We're mostly a gaming channel. We do podcasts like this where we just chat shit about anything and everything.
We're actually about to record a horror game.
We are. We're about to record Amnesia.
Shit.
Ben hates horrors. I personally enjoy them. I don't know how Dill takes them.
I don't like it, but I feel like it'd be good content.
Oh, shit. Either way,
If you have a phobia of horrors, maybe.
Yeah, you could say that.
But it's natural.
if you enjoy the stream, definitely check out our channel. We should be appearing on Dylan's small YouTuber
Yes.
podcast soon as well.
Yep.
So that will also be fantastic. And I've been Sam with Ben and Dill. And until next time, au revoir.
Join us next time when Sam meets Conor McGregor.
I'm
done.
Fuck the Mayweathers. Can you stop this?
Oh, I need to end it. Yes.
Also, go to Eels. Yeah.
See you guys. See you, Rebecca.
Now, welcome to the casting couch. This is
Still
where
going,
the
guys.
Oh, no.
Embarrassing.